Mike Cassidy. I am one of the Filmmaker hosts here at the Garden State Film Festival. This is our 24th annual Garden State Film Festival that we're celebrating, and we have over 200 films from various different countries. We will be showing these films across 9 venues in Asbury Park in Cranford, New Jersey. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with the folks behind Nowhere Good. Brian Carroll, the director, Rosie Hong, the executive producer, and Patrick Lafferty, who acts and is also the editor. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me today.
No, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Pleasure to be here.
I'm very excited to get started talking about the film. If you wanted to, I assume, Brian, can you give us a little summary or synopsis of what the film is and what people can expect?
The film is based on a aging female grifter whose past comes back to haunt her, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And the star of it is Kim Rhodes, which you may know her from either Supernatural, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, or Criminal Minds.
I'm very excited to talk about that. I think it just shows a testament to her acting capabilities that I had no idea that she was the mom of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody until I looked it up. So I thought that was an incredible performance. I also saw her in Supernatural sometimes too. Rosie, would you like to discuss how you were a part of this film? Did I freeze?
Well, I am the executive producer for the film, and I also act as well, and that's how I know Bryant, is because I was an actor and he was a teacher. Bryant knows so much, and everybody trusts him so much that we all want to jump on board with this production when he said he was going to work on it. And I was happy to step in and help. I've never been on the other side of the camera as a producer, executive producer. So it was really just a pleasure to be a part of this and just to see the amazing acting abilities of the 2 leads. We have Kim Rhodes and Jacob Ware playing Nate. And it's just amazing to see them and learn from them and be a part of this production.
I thought they also did really great. Jacob, as we mentioned before, is an alumni.
Sorry,
no worries. Is an alumni of the festival, and he's also.
Connection is bad.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry if I keep moving. I don't know why my internet keeps going in and out.
No worries.
I can hear you now.
Perfect. Awesome. He is a Garden State alumni. He's had a few films in here, a few projects. And he also starred in Fallout, and I believe there was something else too, Law and Order?
Boardwalk Empire and Law and Order.
Right. So yeah, it feels like this cast is stacked. And speaking of the stacked cast, Patrick, you were able to act, and you were also the editor of this film. What was your experience like making this?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. That's kind, saying that it's stacked. I guess maybe I'm at the middle or something. I don't know. But my experience was outstanding. Just like Rosie said, I sort of met Bryant as a teacher first, and he wanted to get a team together to do cool stuff and create great films. And Rosie and I jumped on board, and initially as part of the production team, and then with a small part in the film, which was an outstanding experience. And working with the folks, Mike, that you mentioned, was just a great experience. I mean, to work alongside Kim and watch how she worked, and Jacob, and it was I think I was still in Brian's class, but times 10. Not that Brian does a great job, but it was awesome to watch these guys on set. And then as Bryant and I kind of and Rosie, sort of solidified our friendship and teamwork along the way. I mentioned to Bryant that I would like to take a pass at editing the film, and he was kind of like, I don't know. And then we had to throw together a short sizzler reel for our promotion of the film at Seed and Spark. And they had, I think, an issue with a quick thing we threw together. So I said, send it to me and let me put something together. And I put it together, and Bryant saw it, and he said, oh, maybe you do have some chops. So then he and I got in the editing room and did our thing, and it was a great experience.
I thought you did great as an editor, personally. I
Thank
wanted to touch upon because you both actually mentioned the relationship you have with Brian and the relationship with the actors Kim Rhodes and Jacob. What's it's the thing that I was thinking of? It's like making movies with friends is just like the greatest job to ever do in the world. Brian, how do you think you were able to connect to everybody so well? And how did these relationships start off and blossom into what they are now?
Um, Great question. I'm a firm believer in collecting people, and I've been doing it since I started in this business. So pretty much any film or TV show I'm on, if I end up connecting with somebody, and then they end up in my phone, and I'm a phone guy. Like I like to talk, so I'll just call people out of the blue and be like, "Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Whatever, And that's pretty much how I've I've kept a lot of connections, especially with like Kim. I mean, Kim and I go back almost 25 years. I met her when I was in LA. We were neighbors in an apartment complex, and our dogs became best friends, and we became best friends. And it's just lasted. And like Jacob, I met on a movie set that we were both doing, and we hit it off. And when I found out he was from Cleveland, when I got this script, I immediately was like, this is my guy. So I called him. I did the same thing with Kim. I called them both and said, hey, do you guys want to read this script? And if you're interested, I'd love to have you guys play these characters. And they both said yes and read the script. And then immediately we're like, we're in. When are we doing it? So, and then I had to pull it all together, which, you heard from both Rosie and Patrick that they were in an acting class of mine. And at the end of that session, I pretty much just asked everybody in class if they wanted to be part of Everyday Boots Productions. And we started the production company right then and have been just going ever since. So
That's incredible. That reminds me, I feel like this is the go-to one, is with Adam Sandler and how he everybody. That's what I was thinking of while you're talking about it. Real quick, this would be a different interview. Are you guys Browns fans?
Yeah. Of course. Kind of have to be if you're from here.
Reluctantly Browns fans, yes.
It's hard, but you gotta be. So you gotta do what you gotta do. Support the home team.
I like Shador. We'll get into that maybe at the festival.
Okay.
So I also was able to see that you folks have pretty solid resumes as well. Brian, I saw that, speaking of Cleveland, one of the films you have is Lost and Found in Cleveland.
Yeah, I was in that. That it was out during the holiday season, and now it's available, I believe, on like Amazon and streaming services. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I saw that you have collaborated with Ben Stiller, Tom Hanks on a man called Otto. What was it like working with those guys, and how did you bring it to making this particular film?
I think anytime you're working with big names like Stiller or Hanks or Ruffalo or Buscemi, any of these people, they treat people really well on set. They're really nice, and they don't, there's no crazy egos or anything like that. And I'm a big believer in that. Like, I don't want to deal with anybody that's having diva fits. So, everybody that we bring into our fold, they have to understand that there's none of that. We don't want that energy. We want to keep things positive and moving forward and telling the best stories that we possibly can.
Yeah, I feel like a positive set is very crucial to the process of making the film. Rosie, you mentioned that you are primarily an actor. What other films have you worked on, and how did you take what you worked on from there and applied it to here? Or not? I know you didn't act in this one, but if you wanted to talk about your acting experience. Oh man, is it the?
Well, she,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Were you talking to me? My internet, like I said, is bad, and the audio has been going
I'm sorry.
in
Can you
and
hear
out.
me now? Oh no. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, maybe I will try moving to a different spot. So excuse me while we
While you're doing
travel here.
um, Patrick, when I was guessing what part you played in the project, you were referred to as the guy that said, I'm not allowed to say it, I don't think, but the F word.
WTF?
Was
WTF?
yes, yeah. What was that in the script? Was that kind of just like your reaction to having a cigarette thrown in your drink out of nowhere, or was that predetermined?
It was in the script. And so I think Brian had it in there, and he just decided that I would be good for that for that part.
Saying, yeah. That's a talent in itself. To talk a bit about the film, in the beginning, I don't want to give too much. I don't think I could, but when she comes into the bar, Kim Rhodes, and says she just missed getting hit by a car,
mhm.
and they kind of like touch upon like, oh, I could have been on the pavement or whatever. Excuse me. It reminded me of like the sliding doors moment in the film Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Mhm.
Like if she did, like it's like those little moments that could potentially change your entire life. Getting hit by a car would probably change your life a lot, I'm assuming. What were some of the influences for making this film? What did you like take inspiration from and everything?
The Color of Money. With Paul Newman and Tom Cruise. That was one of my big ones. Grifters, American Hustle. What else? I can't. I'm blanking on the other movies right now, but mainly The Color of Money was like my big um, kind of template that I was really into. I loved the all the dolly shots and the movement because it's you can when you're shooting in a bar, everything's pretty still. You really don't get much movement unless there's a fight. So letting the camera do a lot of that movement kind of helps the story even more, and that's and that's what I took from Color of Money is that camera was constantly moving, and it created so much energy in life that I kind of stole that a little bit.
I think they're okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask so about the film's particular one scene that I was like struggling to figure out what it might have meant. The kissing moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to I really am stumped by it. What did that signify or show?
That is well, for one thing, in that moment, right before that moment, she finally kind of clicks in and recognizes who this guy is, from her past. And I think the kiss is almost like a middle finger to the guy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate you answering that for me. I was thinking about it all night. Rosie, if you're
could I just chime in, Mike, real quick? It's cool just listening to you ask the questions, right? Because we're kind of seeing somebody react to the film. So we've loved that as part of the process along the way. And I think the cool thing is that comes out. And I think I'm of the mind where it's like, well, let the audience kind of figure it out. But sitting here and talking with you, our part of the interview, it's cool because at any moment, and I saw this while editing, you don't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
Is she being genuine? Is she conning? Was she doing the sliding door thing? Was she actually realizing, geez, I was this, or is she using it to get further advantage with Carl, the bartender, everybody that's listening? She's kind of always on kind of thing. And you're kind of like, who are we dealing with here? So I think it's cool. And then watching you ask these questions is very, very cool.
I'll give you my number and we can talk about it even more if you want.
Well, what's also interesting about this short film is it was originally a play, and Bryant starred in that play. Is right? Is that correct?
Yep.
And then he took it and adapted. The writer adapted it for film, and so this is actually a feature-length story. So, and this is one part of that story. And so, like as Brian said, before this movie doesn't quite have an ending, or it may not have the satisfying ending that people are hoping for, but in a way that's good, because we want people to want more of these characters and of this story. And what was also interesting about this script is when you were reading it, I originally thought these characters, I'm not sure how likable they are, but it speaks to the acting abilities and talents of Kim Rhodes and Jacob Ware, that they made these people, likable, even though maybe they're not doing the nicest or greatest things. You actually have sympathy for them and want to know more about their story.
Right. We are unfortunately coming to an end of our time, but just to respond to that, I wasn't sure who I was rooting for. And like I was like the Nate, what he was sharing, and her and everything, like, is she a victim? I know there's like little things like mentioning her son and everything like that, and you get like these quick little glimpses. So I know people are gonna probably be having their own theories and have a lot of good stuff to say about it, honestly. We are at the end of our time. I could talk to you guys for another hour or two, or whenever you get tired of me. Our final question that we like to ask is, will we be able to see you folks at the festival? Can you attend?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I've already booked my room.
Fantastic. All right.
I'm looking forward to being there.
Looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right,
Great.
that's amazing. I am so glad that I got to talk to you folks. I'm so excited for everybody to be able to digest it in their own way. And I know it's probably going to go over very well with the audience. So, and thank you for taking the time to speak with me.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you,
really
Mike.
appreciate it.
Pleasure meeting you. Looking forward to seeing you in March.
March 26th. Yep. See you in March. It's it's Nowhere Good. It's showing Saturday, March 28th in Block BC 28 from 9 p.m. to 10:45 p.m. Once again, thank you so much for talking with me. I feel like I learned so much more about the filmmaking process and everything, and I'm very grateful for that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great Sunday.
You too. Bye.
All right. Take care.